Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today, we're going to talk about my favorite albums of the year so far. And without any further ado, let's get right into it. So I got quite a few to talk about today, and this is just going to be my kind of mid-year music summary. And I'm definitely going to do one of these at the end of the year and talk about like my favorite albums of the year and make sure we talk about all those because there's still so much good music coming out. Brent is coming out this week. Then we've got Steve Lacy. We've got just so many good things that are going to come out this year. But so far, it's been really good, and there's a lot of music I want to talk about. So today, again, we're talking about the albums of the year. I'm going to go over songs and features in separate videos, so make sure to stay tuned for those. But my number one album so far this year, and I'm going to go through these in no particular order, but this is definitely my number one so far, and that's Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers by Kendrick Lamar. Obviously, since we're talking about this album, if you know anything about the album, you know there was a big controversy around it with one particular song, and that was Auntie Diaries. And really, that's just not my place to speak on it, I don't think. Obviously, I think people getting offended by it is perfectly fair, and it's their right to do so. Personally, I haven't listened to the song a ton after the first listen. Didn't make me hate the album at all, and I understand the message he was trying to get across, but obviously, I don't think he did it in the best way. But again, not my place to speak on that. But other than that, it's a great album. It has many of my favorite songs of the year with great hits and just great pieces of emotion. Father Time is an amazing track and just so powerful. Count Me Out is one of my favorites. I love Purple Hearts. It's just a really fun song for the summer. Obviously, Mother I Sober is just gut-wrenching and is so special. And I love Mirror at the end. I mean, United in Grief is great. Every song on here is good, with the exception of one which could have been, but just again, not my place to speak on it. So leave your opinion on Auntie Diaries up to whatever you believe, because again, I'm not going to try to explain or like make any opinion on it because that's really just not my place. But that's a great album. And now my next one is Hypnos by Raven Lene. I made a video about it, so check that out if you're interested. This is a special album. It's her debut. So many great songs on it. It's such a unique sound, and I enjoyed it all the way through. It's just something that is very, very special, and there's not anything else like it that I've heard this year or really any time before. And if you're going to check out a song on there, check out Mercury by Raven. It's so good, so good. Then next is my guy Saba with an album that I love so much, and that's Few Good Things. I went to go see him on tour this year, which I'm going to talk about in a video. I already talked about it a little bit with my FemDot video that just came out. FemDot was great there too, but Saba is such a great performer, and this album is so good. He really took his time. I don't know how it compares to Care For Me yet, obviously, because Care For Me 2018 album that I think is almost perfect. It's something. Listen to Care For Me, obviously. So I don't know how I feel comparing these two yet, but this is a great album. There's a lot of great songs on it, and there's a lot of great emotional moments and songs that would be in my contender, certainly for Song of the Year once this year is all said and done. 2012 was a standout song on that, so I definitely recommend checking that song out as well. But the whole album is great. Definitely check it out if you haven't already. Then next we have Red Veil with Learn to Swim. Definitely an underrated artist that's really made it a lot bigger this year. I got into Red Veil this year. I'd heard a little bit about him with the whole Fantano controversy from when he dropped Niagara, but this album really impressed me. Wade, I think, is one of my number one songs of the year on Spotify, so I was already kind of bumping him and getting into his discography, and then I saw he was dropping this, so I checked it out, and I'm so excited for the artist that he can become. It's a great album, so check it out already with songs like Better, Mars, PG Baby, so many good songs. There's not a single miss on the album, and as he continues to refine his sound and find more great messages and just more concepts that are going to suit him. And that sounds like I'm knocking this album. This album is so good, but I think he can be even more than this. I think Red Veil has the potential to be a similarly great artist to the likes of Kendrick Lamar, which is the highest praise there is for me, because Kendrick, I think, is the greatest artist, greatest rapper, whatever, of all time. And I think Red Veil is showing a lot of potential as a younger Kendrick, and Red Veil is like 18. I think he's like a month older than me. So just the things that he can do, I'm so excited to see, and definitely go check out this album because it is a can't miss project from this year. My number one song that I would recommend would be Better or Mars. Now I've got three more, and I guess a lower tier. First off is Melt My Eyes, See Your Future by Denzel Curry. I really like this album, and it has a lot to say and just a lot of great sounds. It just didn't resonate with me the same as some of these other projects, which I found odd because a lot of these songs are great. Walkin' is amazing, Troubles with T-Pain, mental. I mean, so many great songs on this, but I haven't found myself coming back to it as much. That may change with time as some other projects kind of, fatigue for me, and I haven't listened to this one as much as the others and a lot of other music, so I might come back to it and have a higher opinion on it. Again, sounds like I'm knocking it. This is an incredible album, and I would highly recommend it. Next up is Who Cares by Rex Orange County. Just such a nice summer album. Again, I haven't replayed it as much as I want to. I just have other things I want to listen to more, I guess, generally. But this is such a good album. His voice and his lyrics are so just raw and emotional. And a lot of the songs are just really fun to listen to. I love that it has a cohesive sound with a lot of similar motifs, like all of the strings and just the story he kind of tells on it. Obviously, Open a Window, you might have heard with Tyler, is a great song, but there's not really a miss on the whole thing. It's hard for me to even point out like my favorite song because it's just a cohesive body of work, which is unlike some other albums on here where I can really pick out like I like that sound that the artist does, but this sound on this song is, just okay or just good. But this whole album, it blends together, I guess, but in a good way, where the whole way through you're just in a very unique experience with Rex Orange County, and just definitely go give it a listen. And now lastly, an album that I've almost forgotten about as the year has gone on, as it came out within the first week of the year, and no, it's not gonna, it's The Weeknd with Dawn FM. It's an album that is really good, but I think could have been better, and definitely not his best work. After Hours, I'm gonna talk about it eventually. It's up on the wall somewhere right there, I don't even know where, but it's right there above Good Kid Mad City. And it's a perfect album in my opinion. I love After Hours. And as a follow-up, Dawn FM is good, but some tracks kind of hold it down. But things like Out of Time, Here We Go Again with Tyler, the Creator, Best Friends, and Is There Someone Else? And just so many good songs on this thing. And the whole Jim Carrey interludes and just kind of continuing this character from After Hours is really interesting. But I just don't find myself going back to it a ton. Still really good though, and The Weeknd definitely did a great job with this album. But that's going to wrap it up for today. Let me know what your favorite albums of the year are, and any that I missed. Again, go listen to Kendrick, go listen to Red Veil, and go listen to Raven Lene. Those are my probably top 3 recommendations, and Saba, of course. Almost forgot him, but definitely some of these smaller artists like Red Veil and Raven that need a lot of recognition. And if you've got the time, you want to go listen to a great, like, psychedelic, soulful, dreamy R&B album, go listen to Hypnos by Raven Lene. If you want to listen to a great soulful rap album with a lot of jazz, funk elements, and just a lot of soul, again, go listen to Learn to Swim by Red Veil. But those are my best recommendations. I'm going to be back with more songs of the year and features of the year so far. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you for spending your time here with me today, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.